Well, I got a little bit bored, so I'm just gonna sit in this one. Looks like the game is paused at the moment. Not really sure what has happened between this game. Obviously, Big and North Academy. Looks like Big are doing relatively well on the T side, but everything is silent. Silent as a ghost. So, this will just be me. I think Hugo's gone to get a little bit of food, so bear with me. I'm not the best solo caster in the world. I do run out of breath. My throat begins to hurt. So just gonna be casual, probably talk to some of you guys in the chat. Yes, that song was Mr. Brightside. Yeah, you actually got it bang on. It is the Two Friends remix, so you have got it straight on. I think Big actually just recently qualified as well. Cringe caster, bang on. That is bang on. I'm sarcastic, I like puns. Pretty much just two things that define me as a person, so you're not wrong. Hello. Oh god, that name. Delete noob pona. Awesome. You want to get roasted again. I've already done it once. Like, I think you're just there for a beating. I'm guessing my players has got internet problems or something. Not really sure. Hello, Ryan. But yeah, we're just going to wait for this one. I'm pretty sure that up until then, I can't really cast any of the other ones. Because I imagine I'm hoping what they'll do is they wait. Can't solo cast running out of breath. Yeah. I'm asthmatic. That's not true. Don't post that anyway. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure what I'm hoping they'll do is they'll draw them all at the end, and then obviously the 1-0s will play the 1-0s. I think it's Swiss. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked into where like all of this is going to be done and how it's going to be done. I know it's posted here. So we've got the matches that were previously done. And in the meantime, I've just been looking at the sort of scores, like Fnatic Academy winning, obviously NIP losing. I think Tricked have just beaten Space Soldiers. So I think most of the games are pretty much done. It is Swiss, yeah. Online Swiss system. And yeah, hopefully Hugo will be back by the time we actually start the next game, because this one, for now, I don't know what's going on. I know that Kiev's got an AWP, and the money's pretty good. It looks like... Well, yeah, it looks like the CT side are getting absolutely wrecked at the moment. Of course, this is the Academy team of North. I'm not doing too well, which is unfortunate, because I actually really like this team. The thing I'm wondering is, can North Academy and North even be at the major? Or is that just ESL? There's so many rules now. Like, there's so many different organizations with so many rules. I would like for Valve to just be like, this is the rules, suck it. And then at least everybody can deal with it. Because, obviously, I think ESL events, Academy teams can't play if the main team is playing. But if North Academy were able to get through, would they be able to play if North are playing? That's the question. That is the real question. I'm just reading different bits of this chat and not really sure. After they drop out from all leagues due to suck. Okay, looks like the unpause is going to be coming in. Don't expect too much to be invested from North Academy in this round, as they really don't have too much to play with at all. Hoping to get potentially an AWP into the next round. Obviously 2,400 will go into their bank accounts as well. And then Lome, however you pronounce it, will have enough. Yeah, no, their NIP situations are just unfortunate. And it is a shame, because the players on that team are just so, like, they're loved by their fans. Obviously, they still get a lot of hate for their poor performances, but they're players that I think most CS fans, obviously there's a few that I don't really want to know about, but most CS fans are just going to want to like see them do well. They're going to want to see them play. Not really sure what's happened with the map and the numbers. Something's gone a little bit wrong there, so switching may be a little bit interesting. The auto director has decided to go into third person. But so far the pistol's actually working. That Molotov going in where the majority of players are, but they actually escape, and the bomb is going to go rotating in the meantime as well. And in fact, my number keys don't work at all. Now that is very interesting. We are relying 100% on auto director, as I can't actually change. What is going on there? Okay guys, anything that you blame me for, not my fault. This is all auto director in this game, because the server is not allowing me to do anything. And we're actually going to see a pause again, because Gade is completely gone from the server. Yeah. 9-4. Maybe I should just chuck in a little retry. Let's chuck in a retry and see if I can sort it out so I can at least switch. So, actually, can I bring this up? Work? Hey, we've even got the little overlay. Look how prepared I am. Should be paid more. Right, let's chuck in a retry. Hopefully that will get everything working again. But, yeah, as said, this game just sort of filling in while we wait to see who the next matchups are. I know that the auto director is better than observing at some events. I had no comment on that at all. Definitely don't agree with you somewhat. This caster is a joke. In this match, at least you're not wrong, because I am just sort of filling in, waiting. I felt like you guys would rather see this than me just waiting for the next match. But, if you don't like it, you don't have to stick around. It is just filler. And as I said, we'll be back in just a moment. But we are going to have the full buy on North Academy. They've got themselves the AWP. Mertz with that AWP. Know how deadly he can be. Keep on the opposing side, but there we go. Mertz finds that first pickup. The CT side, in the meantime, looking to actually go a little bit further aggressive over towards ramp. Got Nex as well. May get the perfect timing here, because there's nobody watching over towards Palace. There's Glace, who is actually close over towards that connector, looking for the cross. Not sure if he actually spotted Kiev there. Doesn't seem like I'm gonna see anything. And Nex could be the pinnacle player here. They've got mid control. They've got a player on either side of the map at the moment. But nothing in terms of getting entries. And look how much map control. This is just ridiculous. Lom just sat in the spawn. He's dropped the bomb. That's going to be crucial for Big in this situation, because now they have to go on a retrieval mission. They've got 50 seconds to do it. Entering onto the site is completely pointless, considering they don't actually have the bomb in their hands. And, well, this is not going to be a lucrative round at all. Big, well, it seems like maybe we're the bad luck charm. And jumping into this match late. 9-4 up. Second we actually join the matchup, they seem they're going to lose this round. Decor as well, going to get another takedown next, and one by one they're being picked apart. Last one left will be God B. Not normally the man we look for in a clutch situation. 1 versus 5, 20 seconds. He's got to go barreling onto the site, running his little legs all the way. And Mertz is just going to be waiting with the AWP. North Academy take themselves around. And, well, it couldn't have come sooner. They really do need to get themselves back into this game. But on the T side, maybe they can look to actually pick things apart. And what's a bit more interesting is the money as well. Money for this T side, not really in the best circumstance, considering now won 3 rounds in a row. Will be able to get AKs across the board, but it's the utility that's a bit lackluster in this circumstance. And yeah, no, you are correct. This is Swiss. They are not out after 1 game. They will have, well, it's, yeah, 3 wins and you're through, 3 losses and you are out. Obviously, if you go sort of 2-2, then you're going to have a bit of a longer day or longer couple of days than anybody else. But most important thing is qualification. Legia on the entry, straight through. It's only going to be Gade on the site, and he's unable to do anything. Mertz quickly rotating in. My number keys are now working, so I can switch a little bit to the players I want to see. And this is the man, Mertz, holding the angle, waiting for his teammates to rotate in. Kiev actually going to do the same over towards those apartments. Attempting to find himself a little bit of something from behind, but every single player at the moment pushing in through market. Next, just be careful, very low on HP. The AWP will take him down, but it's trades galore. The T side able to do the work, and they will get themselves a 10th round. Very good scoreline. Wanted to say big scoreline, but I feel like that's a bit too much of a pun. And, well, I feel like the pistol round is going to be absolutely crucial for North Academy as they go onto the T side, arguably the tougher side. Although, I do feel like in recent times, at least, it's nowhere near as CT side. I feel like the whole game isn't as CT-sided as it used to be. Train, much easier to pick up T rounds than it previously was. Same can be said for, well, I suppose Nuke, but they did actually change the map, and it's still very, very difficult. And definitely the same for Mirage as well. So, 10-5. Pistol in play. Lomp going to be throwing out that smoke. They're going straight in onto that B side. Passive position from Nex. Actually going to spot out one. Hits the headshot as well. Rotation very, very quick from his teammates. Mertz is out of the picture as well as Kiev takes 2. And this only leaves Lom and Nicole. They really want to get that bomb down, but it just isn't looking possible. One man left alive to try and clutch this one back. Nice headshot onto God B, who tries to sneak through. Actually gets the second as well. And now Tabson, he sees both his friends fall, and he may be about to join them. All three lovely headshots from him. In fact, he gets 4 kills in the round and gives North Academy a lifeline. Wise man once said, talking about a pun is as bad as saying a pun. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Horse buy. At least for the majority of players. Legia, for this team, renowned in fact for not fully investing in a lot of these rounds, likes to have that extra utility. And Kiev, well, of course, we know that this guy wants to have himself the AWP. 4 umps. I think just defining the meta of the game at the moment. The North Academy looking to just push forward. Legia actually looks like he may just be surviving on the edge, but it doesn't matter. Gade doesn't let that last long as he walks in, makes $1,200 for himself. And now they just look to clean up the round. Next, actually getting a little bit closer than maybe they'd like. Godby again, caught on the edge of the smoke. Will at least take one with him, but no more will come of that 5-7. It will be 10-7 now as a couple of rounds go the way of North. I feel like that pistol clutch could have been so much, well, it's going to be so much more crucial than may meet the eye, as without that, North could have been going, what, 13-5 down early in this game? That was not a likely situation to come back from. Possible, but very, very slim instead. 10-7, 10-8, wow, 10-8, almost inevitable. They'd have to make some massive mistakes for it to go back the other way, but I've seen crazier things. Definitely not impossible, but with these UMPs, it's just a farming show, really. Gade even got a Mac 10. He's just going to go running and gunning. If he falls, it doesn't really matter if this goes into the opponent's hands. If he makes some money, it takes 2 kills. And he's already got his money back. Only next left. Sneaking in. Can't even get anyone. Unfortunate. Does hit the dink, but obviously not as powerful as the remainder of the pistols that you can purchase. But now we at least have a buy. And as said, Legia going to have a little bit of extra utility. Godby, in fact, going to go for a UMP to make sure he can get every piece that he would like. And Kiev, well, he's on the AWP. Gade has picked it up on the other side of the map. I imagine that's a timing shot, and it will be. Gets that first pick on the T side already. AWP is retrievable. It looks like Tabs is just going to try and deny any window presence from Lom, who's ready to try and jump through. In fact, they've already got themselves out onto the A side. The problem they haven't yet foreseen is that Legia has already made his way through. They're going to try and smoke him off, but he will go down as well. Working wonderfully at the moment, and Gade, trigger control, making sure that he can get that player. Godby, the last one left. Just try to escape. A little bit big for the window, Godby. Can't quite get himself through the first time. But he will be able to run away, and just looks to save the AWP. Yeah. Remaining plus remainder equals remaining. New word. TM. I've trademarked it. It's mine now. Remaining. But, yeah. T-side looking good so far for North. Quick round. Have 4 players surviving. Lots of money made. Maybe pronouncing some of these names wrong. Wouldn't be the first time, it has to be said. And, yeah, another nice round. 10-9. Looking like the comeback may well and truly be on. I just want to check. Haven't heard anything about the other game. This is online. This is online, yeah. Not single elimination, it's Swiss. So, win 3, you're through. Lose 3, you are out. All online. And then, I think if you get through this stage, then you go to the EU qualifier, which will be on LAN. So it does end up on LAN in the end, and I think that LAN's going to be absolutely incredible. So many good teams. Godby, well, he's already gone from this situation. He does give that AWP over to Kiev, who buys a bit of Kevlar behind it. They have invested a bit, but Jesus. They're doing so much. Taking down that AWP. Not even going to be retrieved at the moment from this CT side. And they're just making this look too easy. Cleaning things up without a hitch so far. Not a point of damage even taken on the T side. And, oh, Legia. Could be waiting, hoping someone pushes in. Tabson has picked up the AWP. He has been accustomed to getting it every once in a while. Talented individual. yet to show too much. And considering this was a sort of 10-5 half, that from what we saw on the scoreline, obviously not here for the majority of the game, but it looked like it was fairly dominant. It's even. Not a single player really stepping up over the mark or under it. 10 to 13, the top and bottom. Now Legia, he's got a scout. Tags one, tags a second. Okay, maybe he can make things costly. Actually tags a third. It's a bit unlucky he hasn't hit the same player twice. Switches over to his pistol. He knows they're going to be low. Takes one with him, but that will be all. And, well, from Tabson's perspective here, got an AWP. Now, he knows a few of them are low, but he's using an AWP. So, does it really make that much of a difference whether they're low? He's just trying to find some picks across the board. From the rest of his team, they get max loss bonus, so there should be an AWP on Kiev no matter what happens, but saving it, making sure he has all the utility that he desires. Why not? Is Mirage T-sided? Occasionally. I would say that it's become quite balanced. Especially, like, it's always different because different tiers of CS will always show, like, different games. So you go down to, like, much, much lower, and every single map seems to become T-sided, except maybe Nuke. Just because of the aggression that comes out. Obviously, the AK's a little bit easier to hit those headshots. But at this sort of level, I'd say it's a relatively balanced map. And a lot of the time, momentum can come into play. And you have to remember that for the CTs to actually build up a decent amount of money and to get a full buy on the board, it's much more difficult just because of the extra costs. Even, like, for example, incendiaries, they cost more money. You have to buy yourself kits. The rifles cost more. So if they can keep breaking the money like North are currently doing, it's definitely possible for them to just rock this on the T side. Already getting themselves up to a decent scenario. Of course, big, not an opponent to take lightly even. Can't pronounce words at the moment. Feel like that I'm just going to blame solo casting for that, even though it's nothing to do with that. I'm just bad. Were you just waiting for some sort of way to get back in, or did you actually just turn up right then? Oh, what perfect timing. Mr. Hugo Byron has graced us with his presence. The Go TV is on HLTV for this one, so Big North, 10-10. I'm back at a decent time. Gonna see a take lining up, though, for this T side. 3 players already there, and actually Bobby's not that far away from the action. In fact, both players around that sort of short area means the rotation should be relatively quick. Legia should be able to spot all these smokes flying over, and this will give him a lot of information. And actually, he's going to get very, very close. Just be sat here waiting for this push to come in. Actually, he's going to throw down a smoke. Cheeky, trying to just deny them anything more. He's just sort of walking around them at the moment. Going to go back through the smoke, but he can't actually hit anyone. He's just going to be the bane in their side at the moment. They've got little time. Gade is even going to get killed by his teammate, and they're just sort of stuck in limbo. They need to push out, but they can't because there's a man behind, and this man behind is just causing havoc at the moment. And while Legia, I think he pretty much shut this down alone. Akor going to push out, gets one. Lom on the site, got no time, and will burn to God B. Lovely round from Legia. A little bit of luck going his way, and a team kill even coming up for North. I've just realized something. I haven't put your mic to the stream. So no one's heard anything you just said. But they will now.
Oh, that's great. Welcome. Yeah, lovely. Okay. As I was saying, you completely put me off now. Thanks, Tom. Thanks. Either way, welcome.
Yeah, welcome
Steve,
back,
in
Hugo.
middle.
Everybody can hear you now.
Down,
How's it feel?
It feels great, man. It feels great. Either way, North Academy, down a man here. We're going to have Big with the mid control for the time being. Kiev repositioning back to that window. And Lom's just going to grab the bomb and escape, moving back in towards that A side of the map. But meanwhile, look at how the bomb's positioned. Blaze gets to pick on B. This will force more pressure onto the B site for North. They can split their players down through the apartments, but with the lack of mid control gained, this bomb's going to be an awkward spot. It's still not committed. It's still in the T spawn, despite Glace doing so much damage down towards B.
This is like the ultimate fake. They've pulled every single player. The problem is, Glace needs to do more damage, and he is doing it. He's just catching all of these players, and even if it just goes down to a 2 versus 2, they're going to be completely bamboozled at this point. A bit like you were just seconds ago.
Indeed. Very confusing round. Glace is still just being the thorn in their side, sitting in towards the B site as the bomb goes down. Now they know what's up. They know it's not a B take. It's going to be Tabson trying to spot Glace. He does, finds the head, and now they can at least attempt this retake. In a 2v2, it's doable. They have the kit to work with on Tabson. But as soon as they lose a man, this round's over. Acor's in towards the CT spot. Bit of an off angle as well with that boost. And there's no way Keeve is going to expect this. He may check it, but he won't be expecting it. And Acor just takes him down. Now it's all on Tabson. This round is as good as done.
Tabson trying to push back in, but even the clock is against him at this point. And he will go down as well. One and done for Big. And, well, now the money is going to come into question for their side of things. In fact, they're even going to call attack pause. I think that's right, to be honest, just the way that things have been going so far. And, yeah, not really in a position to buy. Legia's bought a scout, but he had some extra cash. Only going to get 1900 back, though, and he's a player that normally looks to get extra utility on the board, so I am quite surprised that he's gone for this. But he was able to tag 3 players and kill 1 last time he did this, so maybe if he can repeat that sort of success, I don't mind. Hugo should add you on Steam. I actually agree. You should.
I would usually agree with this buy from Legia, but the way that their money's at right now means they can actually buy up next round if they full ecoed. Usually, after you get reset, you have to eco 1 before you can buy, or force and then eco. But these guys actually have about 3k in the bank, meaning 1900 would put them up about 5k. But now, after they invest a fair bit, this buy is actually a lot weaker than it could be. They cannot buy up next round properly. They can get some SMGs in play, but I don't know. It will limit them severely. It'd be interesting to see what they're trying to do next round. And maybe they'll even save a couple of guns this time. But let's have a look. North and towards middle to start off the round. We've got Legia with that scout, as you mentioned, just posted. But he's fully blind from the flash. Trying to repeat on in. Does get a tag onto long. Good damage. Looking for more. But the aim punch is going to be an issue here. Only takes down Gabe before he falls. You know, 1-for-1 is going to be very good. But I don't think his teammates are going to be able to replicate that success with him.
Eve. Scout has been transferred. Doesn't give his deagle over to a teammate. He wants both. Has been star, well, previously of alternate attacks, and now looking to be the star of this team. Obviously, performances recently show that it's definitely there. It's definitely on. Didn't manage to take home Mountain Dew League, unfortunately, which I think a lot of people expected them to. You were there.
Yeah, I was. It was a big upset. Penta played very well, but Big fell short. Actually taking down Godsent in the semi-finals, a match that people assumed to be the final, but because of Penta making it through with the first seed in their group. Bit of an upset there. But yeah, Penta did very, very well in the finals.
East side taking mid control once again, trying to clear all these angles before they make their way forward. Now, interestingly, there's no one on the site itself, but Nex is going to be waiting close to this P250. Gets one. The second comes in as well. It's actually Tabson, and that's the bomb down. Glace could have just walked onto the site, but unfortunately, now he has to go and retrieve the bomb. Going to try and utilize the smoke. All his nades are out, but just through it, he's going to get shot. Keeve even headshots him through it, and that will be another round on the board. Massive stuff coming out from Big, and that's actually going to give them a huge boost economy-wise as well.
Funny thing is, I said I don't think Big will be able to replicate the success of Legia, but Tabson definitely did that round. Great stuff with the pistol. And yeah, now the economy boost is massive for the CT side. They saved so much cash and they picked up the 3.2k win bonus. So now going into this buy, they're going to have everything they need. AWP back on Keeve again over in middle. Oh, sorry, he's actually over towards the CT spawn. We have more passive play on middles. Tabson backs off of the jungle. And looking like North just want to split out onto this A site, in through ramp on Palace. Keeve picks the first one up from the CT spawn, but Legia is playing close and he gets dropped. Gay taking him down in the smokes, holding off these big players. They can't contest, but the lack of CT smoke could be a real issue. We can actually have a bit of a peek in. Keeve gets tagged by the AWP on the cross, but still, North actually have all the control of the site right now. They just need to get the bomb down before the smokes wind out. Tabson very tagged up, will eventually fall to Gade, and this bomb should be going down sooner rather than later.
Looking like Keeve just trying to hold them. Not in a way that they'd probably want to. Keep them into that side. Don't allow them to take over CT control. He's still here. Actually, the player next to him is very low. And he's not going to get away. The Molotov will hold him. That's not the way that should have gone. He wanted that kill. Doesn't get away with it. Now Godby doesn't spot Mertz. It's just going to start shooting him in the legs. And North, they really get away with that one. The Molotov finishing, and then Godby just blind to his opponent and straight back at them again. It's just been backwards and forwards for the last few rounds. And now, well, looking like they're going to go for another tack. Now, the last tactical, it did win them a round. So, can't take too much away, but it didn't string anything together. They just then lost the next. And now they have another problem. Okay, so, last time they saved, sort of. They bought a scout, they had a few pistols. They got a bit lucky. Obviously, the P250 extremely powerful and able to do a lot of work. This time, they have enough to even go for, say, a double catalyst or play, get some UMPs. But, I think they're just going to go for some pistols.
I mean, while the crazy buy with a bunch of AWPs and mixes would be good in terms of the upset potential and how beneficial it could be to the economy, if they fail it, if they mess it up, and North pick up the round, that's not only North at 13, but Big now having to full eco, allowing a 14th round before they can even get a proper buy. So I think it's safer to just give away one round and then go for the full buy. I mean, they could even pick this one up. They've already proven they can do it with less. So realistically, this is probably the best situation for them. Going for the force would be so risky. While the reward is great, I feel like it's just not a safe idea by any means. Give North one round with the potential of you picking it up instead, and then go for the full buy next one. That's exactly what they're going to be doing. So now, fast into mid for North, expecting maybe some scouts, but it doesn't matter because Lome, he's retrieving the head of Kiev and putting it on the floor.
Gets tagged. So again, those pistols becoming deadlier by the second. Absent. We will live to fight another day. I was expecting him to go down. Now Legia with the scout again. He's been very good with this so far, but it's not enough for Mertz. We'll trade him out. This time, surely they're going to check. And they are. Godby is there, and Mertz just decimates him with the P250 of his own. Switching back to his AWP. And this time he has single-handedly just cleaned this up. 3 kills. Next. We'll still be able to take one with him. Now he's got the scout. Can look to try and at least disrupt the plant, but unfortunately it's already gone down, and now he's sort of stuck. They know exactly where he is. We'll hit the tag, but not enough. A little bit of damage done, but not really going to affect this T-side economy too much. But they will be able to buy themselves.
Yeah, that's the main thing that we're waiting for. The issue is they may have invested a little bit too much on those scouts. Now we see 2 UMPs in play. Could hold them back somewhat. B and Legia picking those up, but either way, North up to 13 rounds now, very close. If they pick up this one, they surely will pick up the game, just because a Big will be put in either an awkward spot where they have to eco and allow 15 to be gained, or they have to force buy, and the likely chance that they lose that because of no loss bonus. But a fast play up on short from Lome. He's pushed all the way up. Tabson though over in the connector, going to get himself 2. That's a massive defense. He needs to get flushed out there. He needs to get dropped as Lome attempts to trade. He finally will. Looking in for more on short as Godby takes the engagement. So much damage done. But Lom's just holding tight for the meantime, waiting for this Godby to push back in. He does, and Lom gets away with it despite being low. Well, now North, they have a really good opportunity, especially with his split down to A. Legia. Oh, no.
Okay.
That was close.
Nearly mucked that up, but instead they've just somehow picked them apart piece by piece. And leaving just Nex left. Gonna go back and retrieve the bomb. Likelihood is they are just gonna push around to the A site. And yeah, this is where things become nigh on impossible for Nex. Hoping that somebody makes a bit of a mistake. You never know, they may go for the plant for that ramp. And, of course, for short, which would be perfect if he could get that, but they're not. Going for a more standard. It is for ramp, but it's a little bit further back, so it doesn't really give him anything to play with. And where he's wary of all the positions that they could currently be in, and unfortunately not quite reading the situation correctly means that they're going to know exactly where he is, and he's forced to just leave the round.
No need to chase from North. They do have the money to fall back on, but it's not going to be an issue. They know the Big really won't be able to buy up properly if they do go for the investment. It will be $2,400 on the loss bonus, combined with nothing saved here. In theory, Big should eco, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they try and force the issue here. But I mean, Big are a very kind of safe buy team. They don't really seem to go for these kind of crazy buys, so they might even eco this one. The only reason I think they buy is because they saved the M4, which will give them a little more cash. And yeah, it seems like they may be doing so. Next buying up another M4 as he throws his over to God B. Yeah, they will just be investing. I mean, it does make sense. You can get the UMPs in play, as you say, like he's been doing work with the scout. So it's not too bad of a buy. But if they didn't save that M4, I don't think it would have come through. Either way, you open mid, Lome opening things up, and God B's going to drop.
He decently placed. They're not going to check, but he still only manages to get one. The scout of Legia will hit a tag, but it's not quite enough. Couple of low players, though. Looking possible. Lome up the top of mid. Going to be rotating around. Teammates currently on the A side, so I think going all the way around to B might be a little bit excessive, my friend. That's a long way to rotate around. There is a kit currently on Tabson, and nades are actually being picked up by Nex in every situation possible, but this afterplant is going to be very difficult for them to fall back on. They need to find one of these kills quickly, and, well, at the moment at least, they're just not able to spot anybody out. Two players over towards ramp, one still sitting in the palace, the bomb perfectly positioned for these T players. Next is actually going to go crossing. He's in the crosshairs. Eggcore going to finish off one, and Tabson, he's trying to bait them into position, but it won't make a difference. They're going to go down 15-12. North having a phenomenal T side. Only 2 rounds dropped the whole way through. And, well, now 2 rounds dropped. Big need to actually get 3 in a row.
Not looking doable with the buy they have. They picked up a couple of crazy rounds, but this time it looks like it will finally be the close. North, as you say, their T side has been phenomenal. 9 rounds so far. Actually 10. Looking to get that 11th. Just to close out the map here in the first round. Obviously this is only a best of 1, but it's not exactly single elimination. We're using the Swiss format, so there's going to be more chances for Big, plenty of them. They got a very tough opponent in the first matchup, but I'm sure they'll get an easier one like, I don't know, NIP coming up later.
Oh, you really are trying to rip into NIP today. You want them to come for you.
That's only a joke. It's only people got really upset when I predicted them to lose earlier. And again, look who got 16-7, so... But either way, North playing this one very carefully. Just holding the default.
Dangerous. Dangerous. Be careful next time you're in Sweden, Hugo.
Only fun and games. I got a death threat in chat earlier, so I think I'm doing well.
Nice slow round, though, from the Ts. They're not going to go aggressive at all. They're just going to wait, hope that the CT side will make some sort of mistakes. Next, he's trying to bring in an old strategy, by the looks of things, the jumping scout. One of the things that Valve, I can say they've actually fixed. So he's going to have to just prop himself up.
Ooh.
Will actually tag, but get tagged in the meantime. Now, push comes in. There's already a third player rotating, and actually this has been slowed down quite effectively by the CT side. Already, God B going to get one, but he's burning. It's actually Nex burning. Tabson able to find another. God B with one more, and maybe this game isn't done quite yet. There's only 10 seconds. North Academy, they've left this very late, and although it's down to God B, it's done. Big, they get themselves a 13th, and actually in very good fashion as well. The force buy works out, but as we've seen from them every single time so far in this CT half, they have not managed to get more than one.
It seems like most of the rounds they win are rounds where they don't have a great chance, or they don't have great weaponry, not seeming to be winning these full buy rounds. So now that they go into one, the pressure could catch them out. North only need one more. Big need 2. And even then, it's only overtime. Aggression in mid. Flash is going to go out and have some peeking with it. Oh, look at the flick! He just removes the face of Mertz. What a shot on the jumping player. And Long will trade over towards the inside as these players start to burst, but Legia doesn't care. 2 for him. Tabson follows up, and he's even going to round it out with a 3rd. Tabson is a beast.
I just don't even know. That was ridiculous. Sheer reactions. And now, it's actually going to be a bit more of a force buy coming out from North Academy. 15-15 may just be on the cards. Overtime. Looking possible. We haven't had an overtime game yet today. We've had 2 16-14s in the best of 3 we did earlier. Maybe this will be the one. Peeking out, doesn't win the duel. God B does the job. This time there's an AWP of Kyiv for them to run into, and he's going to be falling back already. The advantage sitting with this CT side, and while Nex going to add another to the death toll, they're cleaned up one by one, and the Germans, they brought this back. Overtime is coming. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer before we get that draw.
Crazy performance. I thought this game was over 2-3 rounds ago, but Big have always pulled it back. They made this one very, very close. The team just to make it into Pro League for the next season of 6. North Academy, however, being a fairly new roster, not many achievements to date, but clear potential and a lot of firepower, and with players such as Mertz and Glace. I'm excited to see how this one continues on Mirage. And this only being the first round, we talked about this earlier in the NIPI game matchup. The amount of skill there are in some of these teams trying to get into the minor is insane. The amount of good teams we have, teams that you would expect to see in majors, who are stuck in the minor qualifiers, is crazy. So this is going to be a very, very difficult minor spot when we eventually get to it.
Yeah, I do think that eventually it's going to have to come about where the CIS and the EU spots will have to be combined, because although there's a couple of CIS teams that if they didn't manage to get sort of a legend spot that you'd think, okay, yeah, I want them to be going through. For example, if Gambit didn't perform particularly well, I know you're saying they're Asian, you said this earlier, but
yeah,
they do fight for CIS. So
yeah, I was joking.
It's one of those sort of situations where there's just too much EU talent now for them not to be going to these majors. Like, sometimes it's just going to be too difficult.
If you look at the top team in the CIS minor, who's it going to be? Vega or maybe Spirit?
Or Spirit, yeah.
Yeah, right. That's I don't want to disrespect at all, but like the top level of the CIS minor is about the mid level of the EU minor. That's just how it is. I mean, yeah, there's nothing else to it. Obviously, there's some skilled teams in the CIS region, but I definitely agree they do need to be combined. This is very difficult for some of these teams to get through. Obviously, it's a lot of fun when we have these close matches, elimination matches between very talented teams, but it's just unfortunate the way it's going. But obviously, things have changed in the recent years. When the CIS minor started happening and the EU minor started happening, we had less talent, I think, at this level in the EU. I think it was far more equal then.
Gunnar, if you want to know who the idiots are, just type casters in the chat. There you go, buddy. Enjoy. But overtime has kicked off. Orbs on both sides. Utility galore. Gonna be North trying to continue their early success. Things fell apart towards the end. Oh, looking. Just waiting. Legia has been pushing quite a bit, but it's the mid-control. And there we go. This time the patience pays off. Hampton, however, looking to do more, but it's not quite there this time. Godby will trade things back. These rounds are ever closer. Mertz will get one, but surely Godby's got this kill. And we're back to a 2v2 once again.
Aiko at least has a bomb in his hands, can pick that up, but look at the aggression from Gob. He's chasing this. The timing is going to be perfect, but Aiko is ready, prepared, and holding the angle. Damage is done. Gob gets away. Aiko just hiding in the corner. The flashbang will work, but not enough. Gob can still hold that position, and Aiko, he's got no smoke to flush him out there. Luckily, he's got Glaze towards the top of middle, takes him down in the window, as Key rotates back round towards the A site. He's got a 50-50 here. He's got to make the guess. They don't exactly know where he is, but as soon as he takes one shot, they'll have all the knowledge they need. Flash is going towards A. And it seems like they want to commit. About to walk into Kiev's crosshairs. He just holds the angle. There's the first. Takes him down. Akor's dead. And the bomb's been dropped. Glace is going to run for the hills and try and get the plant on B.
Look at his little running shoes on. Kieve going to try and match him by going through short. Should have an idea of where each opponent is, but actually, Ace is going to be planting for short. This could be absolutely perfect. Spots his opponent, but can't hit the shots. Glace has been given a lifeline. He's going to stick over towards that bench. Goes for the peak himself, but Kiev will rectify the mistakes. Going to get himself the round. 15-16 is big. Going to get the first.
And after a bit of a comeback in those last few rounds of pre-overtime, them kicking it off with the first round of the CT side is very important, keeping their economy good. The issue is about MR3 is if you lose 2 rounds in a row in OT, no matter which side you are, it's very difficult to get a full buy in that last round, unless, for example, you get 2 bomb plants, but even so. So hopefully North get this round, and then we have a 1-1. Then we have the most equal third round possible. Both teams will have money. I don't like to see a team take 2-0 and then just, Antico the next. It's quite boring. I think OT should be 16k, to be honest, on MR. That's a story for another day. as North set up towards this B side of the map. It's only going to be 2 players here. Next from the bench, going to be able to spray, but God B opens things up. Next still picks up one, but he runs out of ammo after taking down Mertz. Glaze trades, and now rotations will fly on in for Big as the bomb surely gets planted for North.
Got to be careful. Again, 3 players are going to be pushing in from the same direction for the CT side. I mean that in terms of plant positions, they are fairly limited. Going to go for the more classic apps plant. Watching the flanks. Now, the benefit of all of them grouping up, obviously, the T side are not going to expect everybody to come from the same direction. However, they can sort of get caught in this window spot. However, Tabson will start things off. Traded back once again, but Legia's got another one. It's on Dolome. He gets one. Looks for the second, and again, Keeve in the 1v1. Wins it once more. Team ace. Actually, in fact, every single player bar Gade has got a kill in this round, but it makes no difference. Big have got a second. North Academy getting so close.
And the pause going to be called out as well. Good to take the time. And while we have this second, I'd like to start this debate because I think it's a really interesting one. The Gunner guy in chat is saying that we're idiots for thinking that the CIS minor top level talent is as good as a mid-tier talent.
What we meant.
Yeah,
like
he said
like Na'Vi. That's not what we mean because they qualify as legends. What we're talking about is the teams that are in the minor qualifier are more mid-tier to EU. So, for example, like compared to Heroic, I would say Heroic should beat Spirit fairly easily, and they may not even qualify.
But there's plenty of evidence to suggest as well. If you want to look at the ECA Mountain Dew League, which is a perfect example, something I'm fairly familiar with. I mean, you look at a team like Spirit, the top CIS team in there. I mean, Flipside didn't do very well. So top team in results in Mountain Dew League. They got to the playoffs and then lost out 2-0 to Penta in the second elimination. So there's evidence there. Vega didn't even make it into the playoffs. I mean, of all the evidence, you can't argue against fact. Obviously, at the top level of CS, it's a very different story. Teams like Na'Vi, Gambit, very different story. But I'm saying in the minors, the top level, Spirit, Vega are the top level, unarguably, is mid-tier of the EU minor qualifiers, or maybe the upper mid-tier, but still not the top tier. So
but it doesn't take away the point that if it's combined, then if they were good enough, they qualify anyway. But not the point. We're still in this matchup. Big have taken the first 2 rounds. It's still going to be a bye on the board for the Danes, the Academy of North, looking to do what their big brother has done many times before. Got through these qualifications, get themselves to the major. It's a long road. It's a qualifier for a qualifier that then leads to where you want to be. And well, so far it's going to be this A-Tech. Legia this time gets caught out, but Tabson is there once more to actually trade things back. Glace going for this push again. Leaves it into this 4 versus 3. The rotation on the flank, however, may catch them off guard as there's a player currently in B in the form of Mertz. They may not expect God B.
Or next, pushing in through the smoke, takes down Lome. That's massive. Now they can jump on the bomb. The issue is, North have the perfect data plants for this position. 2 in middle. One of them sitting in the connector. Utility's plentiful for Big. They still has a molly. And look at that flick. Got B biding his time in the back. But Acor turns around and just takes him down. That's so unfortunate as Big now have to jump on this bomb. They have so little time to play with Glaze spraying the smoke. And Acor will finish it off. It was all on to God B to pincer that round. But Acor from the flank was so aware. And North, they will pick up first round of OT. Well, their first round. The third of the half as they move over now to the CT side. They need to have a flawless start.
Yeah, North obviously needing all 3 rounds if they want to take this in normal time. Just 1 is all that's needed for Big to be safe. Now, both teams be winning the T side 10-5. So mathematically, this should be Big's to take. But, although CS can be a game of numbers, most of the time it comes down to the individual rounds, especially when it comes into overtime. Everything changes. And well, is looking like an A hit once again, attempting to wrap through this underpass. Actually, only 1 man on the A site itself. They've gone a lot heavier over towards this B site with short presence. Lame ready to rotate in if needed, but this is a risky strategy.
Here comes the burst, though. Acor needs to hit his shots or at least buy time to allow for his team to move back into position. Will jump spot. I think you may have seen Keeve there, and the AWP shot going to make it blatantly clear that these guys are out on the A site now. Smoke goes towards CT. They fully molly off the position as well, and the bomb will be going granted down as well for ramp. A good angle for Big to hold onto it from pretty much anywhere. There's a 5-on-5 retake ensues. Mertz and Lob will take the first 2 kills each. North back into this round so far, but they've still got plenty more to go.
Trying to make their way through CT, and they've just had that fight on shore, which was for the bomb plant. Now it's down to these remaining players, but Keeve has managed to find another one next. Finds one more, and it's all onto Mertz. He's got the AWP, finds nothing, as Nex will finish things off. 3 kills for him in the round. And now, after a bit of a wait, we have map point on the board for Big. Looking to finish this off now.
5v3 retake. Sorry, I thought you finished. 5v3 retake, and North lose it. I have no idea how that happens. That should have been their round. They should have closed out that there and brought it to, you know, a far closer scoreline. But now it's looking like this game may well and truly be over in just a second. Big fighting on the end. 18 rounds. As they are going to go for that run boost in mid. Gob B trying to cross over the AWPer. He does hit the tag, but that's onto Tabson, not quite Gob, who actually pushes down very aggressively. But the CTs are aware. They smoke it off and hold on back. No need to contest the mid area. It's going to be this short split combined with the B apartments take onto this B site. With only Glace and Gade trying to defend.
Push in, Glace somehow getting away with that. Gade's still on the site. He can just be a little bit more sneaky. Maybe he can actually deny it, the bomb plant. Looking to try and catch Nex, but he peeks around the corner. Acorn nowhere near the action's got to try and rotate in. There's a couple of low players, but he doesn't have a kit. I'm sure there'll be one on the site itself. But this is a big ass. He spotted Tabson. It's not really going to help him in the long run. Now he's got to try and get himself back into the action. Big. Okay, never mind. Nex seems to have his sound turned off. Doesn't hear Acorn coming, but that's it. Keeve once again. He seems to end almost every single round. For some reason, this is just spinning around once again. But either way, that is this map finished, finito, and done. And we will be seeing the victory going the way of